G'day, mate. Welcome back to Capture Ministry with me, Jitty. Today I have 5 problems. I have 5 problems I need to fix, and I'm hoping we can get through all of them. We need to fix a people problem, a power problem, a rubber problem, which might lead to extra people if we don't fix the problem reasonably quickly. We also need to fix a microchip problem and a coal problem. Yes. Well, coal problem, microchip. We've got 5 problems we need to fix. But as always, I need to thank you guys. I need to thank you guys for liking the videos, even if it is nothing but solving problems. At the same time, I need to thank you guys for subscribing to the channel for all these problems. And lastly, I need to give a big shout out and a big thank you to the wonderful YouTube members who are going above and beyond, keeping this channel ad-free. And today we need to thank a brand new YouTube member. As always, we're going to be thanking Mr. N Gravy. I'm assuming that doesn't stand for no gravy. Maybe it's just N Gravy. Thank you, N Gravy, for being a wonderful YouTube member, supporting the channel. Today, the first thing I'm going to go do is we're going to try and do something about the workers problem. I've only got 60 available, which is not enough, and I also have trucks trying to dismantle that, which we're going to help them by doing that. All right. So what I want to do is I have a whole bunch of assemblers over here, which are not robotic assemblers. If they were robotic assemblers, they'd use less people. So what we're going to do is we have 60 available currently. We're going to pause everything. I need to have 3 of these guys running, so we're going to have 3 of them running. And I also need to only have 6 of these guys running in total, because the new machine is going to run twice as fast. So we're going to upgrade you, and you, and you. So with that done, we're going to go from 60 people available to, hopefully, come on, I need the upgrades to finish. 177. Great. Whole bunch new workers. Sure, we need more teraflops, we need more power, but one problem at a time. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to do something about power. Actually, whilst we're here, I know we don't have enough oxygen. Let's just do that at the same time. That'll make the power problem worse. Okay. Whilst we're here, we need to do something about the rubber problem. Actually, rubber problem is going to be the next thing we're going to tackle, just because it happens to be in this neighborhood. We have an ethanol pipe that we installed many episodes ago that runs under the food bridge, down beside all the farms, wraps around the back of the farms, comes over here and stops at oil. It stops at oil because originally it was this pipe. This pipe had continued right the way through, and we were using ethanol to make our rubber. Since then, we've changed over naphtha. Why? Because, well, the ethanol wasn't cutting it. We didn't have nearly enough ethanol. And instead, we've had to change over naphtha. Now, in saying that, a long time ago, when I set up all our oil processing, I set up our heavy to crack into naphtha, and then re-cracked our naphtha into diesel, because I thought this day might come. Where I don't have enough naphtha, which is exactly what's happened. This system is cracking its heavy straight to diesel, because this one's meant to prioritize diesel, but any naphtha it's making, we're bringing in this pipe, we're putting into this balancer, which is also grabbing all the naphtha it has locally, putting in this pipe, and running the naphtha along to here, where it splits in 2. Half of it goes into making rubber here, and the other half pops over here and runs plastic. Comes up here and runs the 4 plastic machines. We did have 1 plastic machine. I upgraded 2 plastic machines, and since then I have, between episodes, gone, you know what, we could have 4 plastic machines. We could have 4 plastic machines running off the single electrolyzer, as long as they don't run out of brine, and we could then fill up the box with plastic, because we're going to need plastic for electronics too, and all sorts of different things. At the same time, we've just finished the last research. Great, last research done. We now have, what was that called? It was rocket assembly and launch. Yeah, I feel like that sentence is incomplete too. I'm pretty sure it should be called rocket assembly and launch pad, but we can just call it launch, because that's what it's entitled to be. As we can see, I'm going to need a whole bunch of materials that I don't have, mainly construction parts for, but we'll come back to that. In the meantime, there's one research I want to get, just so people can't complain in the comments that I skipped out on a research. We're going to get the sediment recycling. Even though I already have a recycling collector at the town, because the devs split off this research. It used to be under household goods. You'd get the recycling center at the same time. It's now separate research. So we're going to get that up and running. Also means I'm going to pause you and hope to bleed out any lab equipment 1 into lab equipment 2, into lab equipment 3, into lab equipment 4, into my labs. Yes. Okay, back to our ethanol pipe. So our ethanol pipe, we're bringing ethanol here. And what I actually want to do is I want to put in another 4 machines making rubber, because we're sort of making enough rubber currently, as long as I'm not building belts. If I'm building belts, well, rubber gets stored in this box and it gets stored in this box. And what actually happens is I just end up chewing through all the rubber. Actually, in fact, I think I can turn you off, because I can't see myself making any more vehicles anytime soon. So yes, the box is basically empty. Anytime I build a chunk of belts, the box is empty, and then half my rubber supply comes over here to refill this guy, which means I'm short on rubber coming over here, which then means I'm short on electronics 1, which is the next problem we need to solve. So what I want to do is I want to grab, let's start with this pipe. We're going to grab this pipe. In an ideal world, I'd thread it under that bridge, but, well, there's no room. There's no room. Honestly, there's no room, and would just end up blocking off big trucks if I run it over the top, so we're just going to run over the top. We are going to bring our ethanol over to here, and then, nope, height 2, run it over to about here. I'm going to want you guys. I'm going to want 1, 2 of you. I also want sulfur, please, which we're going to run here. Then height 2, and then height 1 again, so I don't block the bridge. Otherwise, future JD is going to yell at me. He's a bit mean. He's a bit grumpy. We're also going to need a pipe to plug into that direction, and that direction, which means I should be able to get that done, that done. Yeah, I should get all that done. All right, and what I actually want to do is I want to double these up. I want to have 4 of them. So we're going to build 2 more facing this way. We will take our our sulfur around and plug it in there, and plug that in there. We'll take, we'll take the pipe. We'll run the pipe through to there and plug that pipe in there, and that should be all of that done. Now this hasn't fixed our power problem or our people problem, but you know, one problem is at a time. Yes. Okay, we need to go into that one, and from here up to height 2, so future JD doesn't yell at me, and then into, no, one more tile, into there, and we can build all of that. I will have to upgrade belts, and this is the problem. As I make more belts, as I upgrade belts, I run out of rubber. So this is why we're having a couple more machines. Even though our naphtha's maxed out, we can just have some done with rubber instead. Also, my naphtha supply is not constant. It's a little bit variable according to how much diesel I do and don't have. Ideally, where are we? Naphtha. Ideally, I should crack some diesel in a naphtha to make sure I have a constant supply, but we're just going to grab ethanol. I've got ethanol doing a whole lot of nothing. We've got food going really, really well now, so this seems like a pretty good compromise. Yeah, all those belts are 200. That should be plenty. Okay, so that should fix our rubber problem. Okay, which means... Where... Oh, God. Oh, really? So the only reason to have this running is so you can go to here and click recover. At which point, he pops out right here, and then I don't need this running, saving myself 160 kilowatts and mainly 16 people because we have a small power problem. All right, speaking of small power problems, we're going to make that worse by a whole bunch of electric assemblers. So currently I'm short on electronics. Now I'm short on electronics for a couple of reasons. One, because I kept having problems to rubber. Two, because each one of these needs 96 copper apiece. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them running, that's going to use 400 copper. So I'm trying to get a fifth one up and running, which we're going to connect in here instead. There's one more catch with that. The catch being that, well, it's going to output. Actually, I could leave it running at the lower speed. Yeah, we're going to leave you running at the lower speed. The catch being that these are sharing one belt with an output which can only output 450, and the only way I can fix that is by sliding this over or that over by one tile, so I can output in 2 separate belts. But I don't have room to do that. Yeah, I really don't have room to do that. The only thing I could do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then split one. No, because you're going to have too many. Yeah, I don't have an option. We're going to go up to 4.5. Okay, so we're going to do... if I do 96 times by 5 machines, that's 480. The belt only moves 450. If I do 96 times 4.5, because the robotic assembler 1 runs at half the speed, that's 432. 432... Electronics 1 is probably the best I can hope for, unless I want to rejuggle everything, which I might have to do. Live and learn, I guess. I never expected that I would need more than 450 Electronics 1 per minute, which is a lot in all things considered. But I might need more. So this is going to be our solution for Electronics 1 for right now. Electronics 2 we're also short on, and that's partially caused by our lack of words, our lack of Electronics 1. It's also caused by I'm just burning through them. I'm burning through them far too fast. Yeah, upgrade. Cool. I'm burning through them far too fast. We're using them for all sorts of things now. On top of that, I'm also using them for Electronics 3. Electronics 3 has a whole separate problem. One of the problems being we don't have enough teraflops. You're set the right way. Yes. Can I unpause you and have more teraflops? Can I unpause you and load you up? 35. Can I unpause you so you start building? All right. Okay, so, yeah, we're going to have some more Electronics 1 and Electronics 2. Maintenance 3. Maintenance 3 is a whole different problem. Maintenance 3. Between episodes, as I said, I added the couple of extra plastic plants. I also preemptively add a couple of extra rubber plants. We've added more since. I also need to add another Maintenance 3, because Maintenance 3, we're making 120, 240, 360, and I'm already using 426 plus. Every single time when you do make a robotic assembler 2, they require Maintenance 3, which means my Maintenance 3 use is going through the roof. In fact, I'm using 4, 8, 12, 16 Electronics 3 currently, plus 22 with this one added, and I only make 24. I currently only make 24 of them. 6, 12, 18, 24. So I also need to do something about Electronics 3. I need more Electronics 3. I need a lot more Electronics 3. Where are you taking those? Well, you don't have to do that. We could just leave it on auto, you know, as it's belt fed anyway. But I get... Oh, okay, it's an entirely different truck. All right. So, yes, my plan is we're going to... You're going to drop them off? Okay, all right. My plan is a couple of things. First thing is we're going to unpause you and we're going to upgrade you because I want more servers. More servers give me more teraflops. More teraflops means I can do more things. I also need more power. Power is a whole separate problem. We're going to get to power hopefully this episode. Well, we're going to have to get to power sooner or later this episode because we're in the red line. We're only in the red line when it's not sunny. When it's sunny, it's perfectly fine. When it's not sunny, we're in the red lines. I can add... we can add 2 more solar panels. Because that makes all the difference. We can come here and we go add you, and that adds another 20 kilowatts each, 40 kilowatts. That's enough for running maybe one machine. Yeah, we need to do something about power. All right, before we get into trying to fix power, first thing I want to do is I want to turn on another microchip machine. To make the electronics 3, we need microchips. Microchips come from the microchip assemblers. The microchip assemblers needed poly. We got a crap ton of poly done last episode by setting up that contract, which means we should be good on poly. So I want to get this up and running. Now, to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go uni. I'm going to say all of this. What I have here was I had 2 builds. Well, I had 3 builds back to back to, well, in series. So this did part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. What I have up here is I have part 1 into part 2, part 2 into part 3, and part 3 into part 4. And it looks like I am 160 parts short, 87. Okay, we can probably get that done. All right. So I've just rearranged the build. I didn't have enough room to do 2 back-to-back. Well, do all 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, do all 12 of the microchip machines in one giant long row. So instead I opted for doing it in 2 smaller rows. Yes. So what we need to do is we need to get in gold in here, which is one of these 2 belts. It's this belt. I hope it's this belt, otherwise I'm plugging things in wrong. We need to bring in gold. We also need to get the belts built. We also need to bring in poly, which is going to be this belt, over to here. And poly is going to come straight into this machine. We also need to bring in water, which I have right about here, which we're just going to tap in there. We're going to set you to be height 2 straight away. And I've just decided I'm just going to run things straight through, and either I'll tidy them up later or I won't. I won't is also a perfectly acceptable answer. Build and build. All right, so that's going to bring in our water, plus it's going to bring in our poly that this machine will turn into silicon wafers right here and feed into this to start the process. The other thing I need to do is, and we're fitting gold. The other things I need to do is I need to bring in copper and also plastic. So copper and plastic I have right about here. We're just going to splice the copper off here, take this up to height 1 and bring you straight up and straight into there. Not even going to think about it, not even going to change any belts, heights, or anything. We're just going to run it in a dead straight line. We're also going to grab plastic, which now I've boosted should run without a problem. And we're going to take this up right beside the copper belt to here, bring it up to here, and come on, plug you in there. Okay, so that should be those 2 belts done. On top of that, I need to bring in acid. Acid, conveniently, we are processing copper right here, which means I can bring you over at height number 1, yes, as well. And we can bring you... Oh, well, you're off by a tile. I'll accept. Actually, no, you know what? Can you plug into that end? Oh, you can. Can you plug in there? Cool. We'll bring in acid right there. Means I can delete. Ooh. Yeah, I can delete that pipe hanging out the end. And we should be good to go. Now, obviously, I need a bridge to get vehicles over, which is great, because if I grab a nice large bridge and line up with the previous bridge, oh, it can go over the top. And because it's over the top, it means I can run all the pipes and belts underneath at height number 1, and that should get this microchip build up and running. Only thing I need to do is take your output and plug it into here, and that should give me more microchips. And of course, I have no workers. We're at -3 already and counting. Like I said, problems. All right. Also means with you producing another 12 microchips, it means I need to process those 12 microchips, which means I'm going to have to upgrade you, and I'm going to have to upgrade you. We can leave them paused for right now because I don't know. Well, in theory, I've got the teraflops. In theory, I've got the teraflops to process them. Okay, you guys are running. Do you have acid? I assume you do. Yes, you have acid. You don't have copper and plastic yet, but they're coming. Plastic's definitely coming. Yeah, plastic's definitely coming. It'll be there in a sec. All right, let's go deal with this. Ship low on fuel. So this is my slag boat, which is doing wonders, except they go through a diesel a lot faster. A lot faster. And my catch is I'm feeding everything off a tiny little 200 pipe, which is causing some problems. So we need to upgrade all these pipes to a bigger and better pipe, which should be that pipe there. It is that pipe there. All right, so we need to give that a bigger pipe so we can get diesel through a little bit faster. That's the only limitation. It's not like I don't have enough diesel. Well, he says that, and that storage tank is not very full. All right, later problems. Okay, yeah, I know. No construction parts. No, the fuel we've done. People. Let's unpause you. Let's go to here. Let's insist that we take off all the rubber because the rubber's sorted, and we can turn the rubber into electronics instead. And with a birth rate of about 1%, the people shall flock in. Literally. Okay, so that should get our electronics up and running, or another microchip build up and running. Yes, another microchip build up and running. We have some spare teraflops, not a lot of spare teraflops, but we have some spare teraflops, and we still have a power problem. Okay, I've solved the people problem by unpausing a housing. I have solved the power problem, not at all. We've solved the rubber problem. We haven't solved the coal problem. Let's go do a coal problem. So coal. Best way to get more power is by burning more coal. The best way to get more coal is by burning waste products. So we set up last episode, we set up a whole bunch of these arc furnaces. These arc furnaces, which of course burn graphite. Now graphite, we got two ways of getting graphite. One is from converting carbon dioxide into graphite. The other one is by converting coal into graphite. For every one coal I put in, I get 2 graphite, which is excellent. Because if we look at a blast furnace, a blast furnace needs 15 coal to run iron or copper or glass. These guys need 3 graphite, which is the equivalent of 1.5 coal. So dirt cheap. But I can also get graphite from waste products, being carbon dioxide. Now, I have already, previously, over the last couple of episodes, taken a pipe, one giant pipe that went all the way up to the very back of the map, where we are making ethanol and antibiotics and even hydrogen reforming, and put all that CO2 into one pipe. We brought it here. To that, we also added these 2 exhaust scrubbers, which also output CO2, and put them into that pipe. And I also, just before the episode started, grabbed the CO2 off the rotary kilns because their recipe got updated, and they now output carbon dioxide. So we went and tagged all that together, which means this pipe here has a lot of carbon dioxide. In fact, it says it's full. The other catch is, when the devs changed for this patch, they changed these guys from, rather than processing 72 carbon dioxide and giving you 3 graphite, it now does 144 and 6, which means after 3 machines, I've maxed out a pipe. Which means these 2 are obviously doing nothing. So if they're doing nothing, 1, they pause, 2, we can remove them. So first step is we're going to remove them. Second thing I need to do is I want to change up this. There's not enough room in here for me to add and tweak and change and update anything. I've built myself in. So we need to do something with a little bit more room to move. Room to breathe. So what I want to do is remove everything between here and here. We're going to put in a pipe balancer right here. Off my pipe balancer, I'm going to have a storage. We're going to put a fluid storage Mark III, and I will put you here. And we're going to hook that one into there and that one in there. That way I have 3 inputs into this tank. We're also going to put in a smokestack large right here, which we will limit down to just doing, turn off, just doing CO2. Okay. Next thing I want to do is, we saw that pipe was already full of CO2. It was 100% capacity, which means I'm going to trim you, and I'm also going to trim this, and I'm going to put them in their own pipe. So we're going to come out of our balancer to this tile. We're going to come up. We're going to go all the way over to here and plug that in there. And I'm going to grab... Oh, that doesn't line up. Try again, JD. Can't have pipes bending at different angles. Ooh, what's the world coming to? Alright, and we're going to grab this one, and we're going to plug you in... I know, I can't have pipes bending at different angles, but this is perfectly fine. Yeah, sure, that works. Okay, we're going to have that all merged together like so, which is going to come into this mess. This mess is we're going to prioritize out, 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 and out to try and fill this bucket as quickly as possible. We're going to remove that. I'm also going to remove that pipe, that balancer, that overflow, those two inlets into that tank, because I want that tank to empty so we can rearrange all this. All right, next thing I want to do is actually want to grab one of those, and we're going to put you here. And I want to... No, wrong item. I want a pipe. We're going to bring a pipe, and I'm going to go into this machine. But I'm going to have 3 of them in a row, because 3 of them in a row will do like 132 in the pipe. Pipe only moves 144. No, 240. Sorry. 3 of them in a pipe is 432, and the pipe only moves 450. There we go. Words are hard. All right. So I'm going to preemptively put down a second build. Okay. And we're going to come into the back of that, into the back of that, and into the back of that. The other thing I'm going to do is we're going to grab belts, U-shaped flat belt. We're going to run into you, plus into you, plus into you, plus a little bit of extra tileage out the back. All right. I want to do a few things. 1, I want to have enough room for a balancer. 2, I want to have just an extra tile or 2 because we're going to go storage, and I'm going to go a unit storage, nice big one. I'm going to tag that in there. All right, so our plan is going to be, we're going to be capturing a whole bunch of CO2. I'm going to be running my CO2 into this system, and you guys are prioritized, which means you're not burning. You're at 88% full. You're at 40% full. I'm so glad I added the second one. I'm going to bring all our CO2, all our graphite into here. At the same time, this looks to be empty, which means I'm going to remove that, all of that. Plus you, plus that bucket, plus that belt, that belt, and actually, come on, all that belt, and that belt. Okay, can we run you into there? Can I get you to priority in from this one instead? All right, so done, and done. All right, we already have this one machine. This one machine is already converting our coal into graphite, and it's going to make 12, which is enough to run 1, 2, 3, 4 machines, and obviously the rest of them would be poor. So we're going to need to have more graphite boosted into the system anyway. I want to run through a balancer because if I have enough graphite from CO2 recycling, I'd much prefer to use that. So that's going to be our plan. We're going to bring this down and obviously wrap it into the front of there. I'm going to use this rather than anything else. You are at 1170, and I haven't even added in the next pipe because I have another pipe I need to add. So these guys, these are the hydrogen reformers, they produce a lot of carbon dioxide as well. So I want to take that a lot of carbon dioxide, because the more carbon dioxide the better. And I also want to run it, actually let's go F so you go nice and close to all the other pipes. Yep, and then we're going to run this up and into this balancer. That's why I had so many ports on the balancer, because we're going to be using them. All right, so we're going to plug that in there as well. Now, being an oil build, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee how much CO2 we're going to be outputting from this. It's going to be some amount on a somewhat consistent basis, maybe, I hope. So we're just going to plumb that into there. And then what I'm going to do is going to set an alert. I'm going to say, hey, you, tell me if you're over 50% full, which you are currently, which means I'm going to turn on you and you. I'm going to have a quick look at the pipe, which says it's very full. We're going to look at you. You're at 11. We're going to go with 1200-ish. And I have, hang on. Each one of these makes 6, which is enough to run 2 smelters. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I currently make enough graphite here to run 10 smelters, as is. Potentially more, because I have like 12 or 13 smelters active. Yeah, we've got a few already. 13. All right, we'll come back and look at you in 1 minute. I need to find some more teraflops because the base is complaining. Do you have servers? 44. That'll do me, I hope. I've already got 2 of those running. You have 0 servers. There's no point unpausing the next one then. All right, so we're up to 668 teraflops. We've got a few flops spare. All right, where were we? We've gone too far. Way too far. All right. You're up to 1400. Okay, 1400 means I'm going to turn you on as well. Okay, so with you on, we hopefully remove all our CO2. At the same time, I'm going to upgrade you to be a bigger tank. If you're a bigger tank, hopefully, then we'll get a new alert. We'll get a new alert if and when you fill up. All right, so that's going to be our first plan. We're going to, rather than burning coal to make graphite to run the smelters, we're now going to hopefully burn a waste product. Because we're burning a waste product, we're going to have less air pollution. Less air pollution, very, very important, means more health. More health means more uni. I like more uni. It's all about that uni. All right, so that's the first thing we need to do. Second thing I need to do is I still need to do something about power. We've done people, we've done rubber, we've sort of done coal, we've saved some coal, a little bit of coal, not a lot of coal, and we've also done microchips, but power is a whole separate issue. Now, power. Let's go back to this for a second. Blast furnace. Okay, blast furnace uses 15 coal. Now, I already know if I convert that across to one of these guys, it goes down to 1.5 coal, which means it's like 14 coal. 14 coal free. 14 coal free. What could one do with 14 coal? Well, you could take your 14 coal, could put it in a boiler, and you need 18 coal, so a little bit more. That'll get you 48 steam. 48 steam is enough to give you like 1 point something. It's 90. Where's the power plant? We have a power plant just here somewhere, right? Yeah, okay. 96 steam. So 48 steam is enough to run one of these. So 48 steam will get me 2.5 megawatts worth of power. So our 18 coal, right? Yeah. So we can pretty much assume off 14 coal, I can get about 2 megawatts worth of power, roughly. These guys need 1.4 megawatts each, which means every single furnace I can convert from a blast furnace and save the coal over to an arc furnace. It means potentially I have enough power, I have enough spare saved coal to run one boiler. Okay, so that's going to be the avenue we're going to be choosing. We're going to be hopefully finding, yeah, that's going down. Okay, hopefully finding some spare coal. Now, I don't have any spare coal currently. Driving from vehicle depot. Are you stuck because I paused it? Oh, wow. Well, there you go. We learned something. All right. What I want to do is I want to convert some coal into power. So I have preemptively put together a little bit of a power plant. So we are currently doing glass for coal contract, which means every single time I ship out 1,000 glass, I get in 1,800 coal. My 1,800 coal comes in here, and I'm getting 1,800 coal every... You'd have a 3-month turnaround, and you guys are medium modules, so that's 1,800 coal every 5 months, which is 360 coal per month, which means that belt's too slow. Cool. Now we worked out that belt's too slow, and I can upgrade that belt. I'm getting 360 coal per month. In theory, it's not quite a guarantee, because I don't actually think I'm making enough glass to run this guy. Well, I'm definitely making enough glass to run this guy, but I don't think I'm making enough glass to run this guy as well, who also does the exact same contract. This guy is a little bit behind the times, hence I'm not going to upgrade his belt just yet. Maybe we'll in the future, but we're going to take some of the coal that we're getting in here, and we're going to convert it into power. Now, to do that, I'm going to need a power plant. Obviously a power plant. Now, I'd like to use something like nuclear reactors, but honestly, I just don't have the processing for nuclear reactors. So let's go across and look at nuclear reactors really quickly. I originally set up enough processing here to process enough uranium to make 4 reactors. I already have 4 reactors. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the primary reactor. Which I don't know why it does that. Sure. Sure, fixed. All right, I have a primary reactor. Primary reactor makes 15 megawatts worth of power. These guys, which are power level number 2. Then we have the secondary reactor, I want to say. This guy, power level 4, maybe? No, we got some weird reactors. Okay, so then we have the secondary reactor. Secondary reactor has these guys here using 96 making power priority level 3. Then we have the next reactor, being this one, which does another 15 megawatts at power priority level 4. Then I have over here, I have a very, very long flywheel drive shaft. Very, very long, lots of stored potential to store a lot of power on this drive shaft, which the idea of this one is it's going to either run power, or if the drive shaft is full, if I don't need the extra power, it takes the excess steam, runs it over here and turns it into, wow, you're processing exhaust. Yeah, that's a thing. Which implies that you're running flat out and that you're running flat out. Cool. All right, I need to put in yet another exhaust scrubber. Come back to that problem. All right, where were we? It has a balancer in here, which means it can choose to run its excess steam over here and run oil. So this is why this one's in at priority number 6. And then finally, I have our smart reactor. Our smart reactor is priority number 7 because it chooses to run power if we need the power. If we don't need the power, then it takes the excess steam, plugs it over these desalinators, makes a crap ton of water, which feeds a crap ton of farms, which is good because farms need a lot of water. So our plan is we're going to put in a new power plant at you're a 2, you're a 4, you're a 3, you're a 6. So power priority level 5. Power priority level 5. Below this one and above this one, and definitely above the smart reactor. Okay, so that's going to be the plan. And like I said, I don't have any room to process any more nuclear fuel. Otherwise, we'd probably look at another nuclear reactor if I could get the uranium in. So what I need to do is we need to build a tiny itty bitty power plant. Now, I'm going to run 2 boilers back to back, which should give me enough power to run a single, well, a couple of generators, give me another extra 5 megawatts worth of power. Now, the idea is they are set to 5. They are set to 5. Yep. The idea of this system is hopefully it's enough power that when it's overcast and raining, because they're the 2 times I have issues, when it's overcast and raining, I should have hopefully enough power to get me over the line. I'm going to need all those pipes built. I'm also going to need all of those pipes built. All right. I'm going to need that pipe built as well. All right, so with this system, first thing I'm going to need is I'm going to need a whole bunch of water to get this in and kick-started. We're also going to need the coal. Coal's coming. It's almost here, which is good. You and you need to be upgraded, and bop and bop. So water. Water's going to be, oh, and that pipe as well. All right, so water's going to be concern number 1. So concern number 1, we have a whole bunch of desaliners that's going to take the depleted steam from here and turn it back into water, and that's going to priority out into this pipe. Next thing I'm going to do is the excess water from this system will feed into this balancer, which will feed off to, we'll get to it, but I'm going to flip that pipe to start with so water can come, and it's being prioritized out to here. If it can't go this way, it'll go this way, and it'll go into that power plant to get it fired up. All right, on top of that, the water that comes out goes under here into here, and these desalinators are for the arc furnaces because they actually need water in to make low pressure steam, which we then run back through desalinators and make a whole bunch of water. The excess water comes over here, and it's actually being wrapped all the way around the map and coming over here to pump water into steel processing, because steel processing is water negative, unfortunately. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause that pipe. At the same time, I've built a little booster box of water, which we're just going to take and flood into this system. Yeah, it'd be nice if you drove over that. Great. I'm just going to take that water and flood into that system for now. And I've paused the output pipe. So what's going to happen now is water can come into these guys, run into the arc furnaces. If it can't go to the arc furnaces, it's going to back up the pipe. If it backs up the pipe, it has nowhere to go but to go to the right. If it goes to the right, it shall come in here and it shall start feeding the new system with water. Yeah, we need water up and running before I can really do anything else. Ooh. That is the right pipe, right? You have water. You have water. You have water. All right, so water started arriving from this tank. Also means I'm going to remove these guys. All right. On top of that, every single one of these guys are going to output exhaust. 36 exhaust to be precise, and I potentially have 6 of them across here. So I have 6 times 36, which means potentially I have 288 exhaust. So all the exhaust is tied together. It's been brought up here, it's been brought over here, and it's being tied into this little system right here to run into an exhaust scrubber. Main reason we want to run it into an exhaust scrubber is, if we remember, we just spoke about it, it's that tasty carbon dioxide that comes out of exhaust scrubbers, and we can take that carbon dioxide in a pipe, like so, and run it into a chem plant, which I need to put right about here. Yup. And you're going to take all that exhaust and turn that into graphite, which means I need to plug that in there. This is far from ideal. This is 100% a temporary setup, but it is what it is to get the system running. After it's running, after I put in a whole bunch more arc furnaces and stuff, we can tidy things up after the fact. Come on. Cool. We can plug that in there. That at least has somewhere for the CO2 to dump. Do that as well. And that, it turns out. All right. On top of that, these guys output low pressure steam. Low pressure steam, we're taking it here. We're dumping into this pipe that already deals with low pressure steam, which runs it down these guys to turn low pressure steam back into clean water, which means I get to build another one of these guys. This one's going to be dedicated to just handling the desalination plant, but you know, it's another process converting it more seawater into clean water. You guys are using 21 a piece, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 100 and something. We're fine so far. And Brian is under 60. Yes, okay. So that's those 2 problems sorted. Next up is still, do I have water yet? I have some water. Oh wow, you guys are fully spun up. All right, so I want to unpause you and unpause you. So that should give us a whole bunch of power on this system. That should take the depleted steam into here, into these guys. I haven't built the 8. Okay, so I need 8 of these guys running. We're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8. Which needs that pipe done and that pipe done as well, I believe. And with 8 of them running, they should be able to take in all the depleted steam and convert that back into clean water. Yes, perfect. Which is then going to come back in this pipe, and then it's going to loop back in here, and it's going to run back in this system to give us more clean water to keep the boilers running. I love it. I love it. I love these closed systems that just run indefinitely, feeding themselves. Providing we get enough cold water in the system to keep it running. We're low on sand. Okay, sand is caused by... You just happen to be digging out a fair bit of rock currently. And don't you have a friend? Oh, your friend's down here. Okay, alright. That's alright. We're just heavy in the rock currently. It's alright, we'll clean that out in a minute. In the meantime, how low is the low supply of sand? Oh, it's not low supply of sand, it's out of sand. Okay, I'm going to turn those guys on, and those guys on, and those guys on, and those guys on. Alright, we still have some free workers. Wow. Alright, so you're running water in said pipe. That's a go. This is empty, so we can get rid of you. And we can get rid of you. Oh, probably helps if you had a bucket to put sulfur into. And you should be running And pipe's not full yet, but it's on its way. All right, we are now have 71.8 megawatts. Yeah, almost. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to turn on yet another power plant if I have enough construction parts, which I don't, which is story of my life. We're going to turn you on. We will have all the belts and all the other items clean up between episodes. I'll need to flip this pipe back eventually. Yeah, I want to have more water in the system. Yeah, I want to have a little bit more water in the system. Eventually, I'll flip that pipe back over. At the same time, you're done. I need you built, which is electronics, right? Yeah, it's electronics. Like I said, we're having a bit of an electronics problem. All right, but it also means next episode, providing I get power sorted, we should be able to start coming along here, and I should be able to start retrofitting, because that's what I want to do. I want to remove the old copper smelter and put a new one in here, and then remove another one and put another one here. Providing I keep up with power, power is limited by, well, a number of things, but the biggest one it's currently limited by is my lack of power. Yes. Also, technically, if I get more solar panels, we could probably skirt a loophole there. Yeah, we're having power problems. All right. But yes, I'm going to end this episode here. I will see you guys in the next episode, hopefully with power completely sorted. Hopefully with power sorted, people sorted, everything sorted, and maybe we can look at a rocket salad. Maybe not, but maybe we can. In the meantime, just out of curiosity, yes, you're done, you're done, you're done, and you're done. You are also done, and you are just burning out slowly, and I'm pretty sure I have enough parts hanging around to finish off this research without having to make any more lab parts. All right, I'm going to call this episode here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next episode with hopefully not 5 problems, hopefully just one we need to solve. Probably construction part 2 from looks of that, but we'll find out. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.